Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Precious Metal Fair Edelmetallmesse 2018 here in Munich, and we move on with Skyharbour Resources. And Jordan Trimble, who is the president and CEO, wants to give us an update. Jordan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Last time we spoke April, that's good 7 months ago.
Yeah.
So maybe you give us a short update, what happened the last 7 months?
Sure. So as you know, our flagship project, more high-grade project in the Athabasca Basin that we've now earned 100% in from Denison, who's our largest strategic shareholder. When we last spoke, we were in the middle of our winter-spring drill program, so we've since announced results from that, more high-grade results. We've added to the small high-grade zone that we have there. We're looking to add more pounds. We are planning to come out with a resource estimate at some point next year on the project. We're just wrapping up now our summer and fall drill program. We bumped it up from 3,000 to 4,000 meters. Very happy with what we're seeing there. Bottom line is the project is it's a flagship. It's the crown jewel really for the company. We think there's a lot more to be found there. So what we're doing right now is looking a little bit deeper in the basement rocks. As you're well aware, Next Gen Fission, the Griffin deposit, these are all basement hosted deposits, recent discoveries. And at our Moore project, a lot of the historical drilling was just into the sandstone or down to the unconformity, not a lot of historical drilling in the basement rock. So this drill program...
How deep will that go?
Yeah, so the unconformity, the contact where the basement rock is about 250, 260 meters.
Okay, that's quite decent.
We've drilled a little bit deeper with this last drill program, looking for the feeder zones for that high grade at the unconformity in the sandstone.
Yeah, when you say high grade, can you elaborate a bit on the grades?
Yeah, so one of the best holes that's been drilled on that we drilled on the project, it was 21% U308 over 1.5 meters. That was within 6 meters of 6%. Yeah, very, very high grade, yes.
Yeah. Super. And for the average grades, what would you say?
Well, so in the Athabasca Basin, you have about 10 to 20 times what the average grade is globally, right? So it's the highest grade depository of uranium in the world. It's also the #2 mining jurisdiction as ranked by the Fraser Institute. It's really the best place to be looking for uranium.
Fantastic. As you are drilling, what's cash in the bank? Are you fine for 2019?
Yeah, so we did a financing this summer. We raised about $2.5 million. So we're cashed up. We're cashed up for this upcoming winter drill program. And as I said, we're just finishing up this summer fall drill program. But it's also important to note at Skyharbour we have 2 strategies, right? One is the high-grade discovery potential at Moore, where we're drilling. That's where you see most of the news flow. But we also act as a prospect generator as well. We have a big property portfolio throughout the Athabasca Basin. So our partner company, Uranium, has just announced a $2.2 million budget for 2019. That includes a big drill program, just under 5,000 meters of drilling that they're going to be commencing early in 2019. And our other partner at East Preston is a company called Azincourt. They have plans to drill early in the new year as well. So we have partner companies as a part of our prospect generator model that are funding exploration at our secondary projects while we can focus our attention, our time, our money at our flagship Moore.
That's very good. So that means that creates a lot of opportunities for the future. And as we saw this year already, uranium is up 40%. So I could imagine that helps you in that sense. Well, you're not a producer yet, of course, but I think it helps for the whole sentiment. It helps for the whole attitude. That's why you raised also money, I presume it was not so difficult like for a gold explorer, for example. What's your view on the uranium market now? I have a feeling that we could be by Christmas well over 30.
We've been saying this for a little while. We're finally starting to see these tailwinds come in and have an impact, whether it be on the demand side, so you're seeing a continued buildup of nuclear reactors globally, right, in China and India and the developing world. You're seeing an acceleration of the Japanese restarts, right? So we now have 9 nuclear reactors that have restarted in Japan. You've seen new financial buyers come into the market. I think this is a big point. So Yellowcake in London, Tribeca, a few groups that have raised money to buy physical uranium.
And store it.
Exactly. On the supply side, as we've talked about for a couple of years now, finally seeing the supply side respond to the low price environment. Major production cuts, MacArthur River now shut down indefinitely, Kazatomprom continuing to make cuts. They are also doing an IPO here shortly. So I think you're going to see continued supply cuts because even at $29 where it is today,
nobody earns money.
Exactly,
really.
Still well below the average.
Kazatomprom, I would say.
Yes, there's a few mines globally that make money, but the average global cost of production is still much higher. So that's why I think you can see the price continue to move up, and I think it's got a long way to go.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is I read in a presentation some months ago that the average price is approximately $42 all in to produce.
Yeah.
So it makes definitely no sense to produce at 28
and that's
or 29.
That's the average global cost of production for producing mines.
Yeah.
If you look at the price needed to incentivize new meaningful production to come on,
must be higher.
you need $55, $60 uranium. And in fact, that's the long-term forecast price that most analysts that cover the space have for the commodity.
Yeah, I see it absolutely the same way. But I think also the point is to be made on the other hand, if we get, let's say, to $60, it does not go like this. You have a new mine.
Right. It takes a while. It takes a long time.
How long you are working on yours?
Well, and that's it's a great point because uranium mines are some of the toughest mines to get permits for, to build. So you're right. The supply side's sticky, right, in that sense. So yes, I think there's a lot of room to move yet. We now see Cameco having shut down McArthur River, having to buy in the spot market. They're buying between 11 to 15 million pounds in 2018 and 2019. So that's a big source of new buying that's coming in. The largest, one of the largest producers, actually now buying in the spot market. So there's a lot of tailwinds. There's been a confluence of factors that are driving a higher uranium price, and I think you'll see that continue over the next few years.
Absolutely. So coming back to your projects, I mean, prospect generation on the one hand, fantastic. It's always good to have that. But let's say with your flagship project, and you have Denison as a partner. So to move that towards production in the next years, is that the plan?
Well, look, what we want to do with more right now is we want to find more uranium there, right? So our main focus on that project is exploration at this point, right? We got to go and find more pounds in the ground. We think there's a lot more to be found there, whether it's at the main Maverick corridor. It's a 4-kilometer long conductive corridor. Really only 2 kilometers of the 4 has been systematically drill tested. And again, most of that drilling has not tested anything deeper in the basement rock, right? And then you have a handful of other targets on the project, regionally on the project, that have had limited drilling but are mineralized. So there's a lot of exploration upside potential that remains at the project, and that's what we're looking to unlock value through the drilling.
Yeah, fantastic, great. So from my side, thank you very much for the update. Sounds, as always, a very compelling story. I think finally you are on the right market.
It's
the right
a while,
project
but
you have anyway, but the market is now, I think the sentiment is really going towards positive. And hopefully we see next year already the 45 to 50.
Absolutely.
That would help a lot.
Yeah, that would.
So I say keep the drills going and get us some good news releases with good results further on.
We will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jordan Trimble, the President and CEO of Skyharbour Resources. And you heard it. Drills are turning. Projects are in good shape. They are also now acting as a project generator. And I think with the uranium market really heating up and restarting with much higher prices already this year and also next year we see it. And Jordan described it because of China and the supply and demand situation in the world. I think it's worth to check out this lovely company. Thanks for watching us. Bye-bye from Munich.